Hi everyone, I'm James Yodice, the high school sports editor at the Albuquerque Journal, joined again by my learned colleague Ken Sickenger. Ken, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Kind of an important week in high school football this week. Districts 1 6A and 2 6A here in the metro area primarily, getting started with district play this week, starting on Thursday night. We got Cleveland and Atrisco Heritage opening things up in District 1. Rematch of the state championship game from last year, Manzano and La Cueva at Wilson over in District 2.
Yeah, and that's going to be an interesting game. I think La Cueva has held together a little better than Manzano has because they had so many losses, but Manzano will be up for this game. You know that.
Yeah, I said in my column that ran last Sunday, I'm still not sure La Cueva's put together its best football of the season. Maybe that's still to come. Maybe this is the best they're going to be. They're undefeated. They're 6-0. There are only 3 undefeated teams in 6A, Cleveland, Centennial, and La Cueva. But this is going to be an interesting game for sure. Even though Manzano has lost many of those key pieces, you know that defense is going to be anxious for a little retribution, so I'm interested to see how that one's going to go. As we look forward to Friday night, we've got some more district action. Volcano Vista and West Mesa playing in District 1. We've got Clovis and Sandia in District 2. Clovis is a team we haven't seen yet. Sandia is really banged up. These two teams may be fighting toward the bottom half of that district for maybe the last playoff berth in 6A. I think it's entirely conceivable that may be the way it shakes out.
Yeah, it's really kind of hard to read those teams because, like you said, Sandia has been so banged up and Clovis has had its own issues, so that it'll be interesting to see how much they can rise up for a game like this.
All right. We should mention that El Dorado has the week off in District 2. This is their bye week. They're going to return to the field a week from Thursday against La Cueva in their opener. The other District 1 6A game this week is on Saturday, which is by far the best of the 3 games in that district this week. Rio Rancho and Cibola out at Community Stadium on Saturday afternoon. This will be my first look in person at Rio Rancho. Cibola's shown a lot of fight this year. They've got a quarterback, Marcus Steele, playing at a really high level. So this is going to be a fascinating game.
Absolutely it is, and I think this is one of the games we disagree on this week. I really like the fight Cibola's shown this year. They've hung in there with just about everybody. And, Rio Rancho seems to be making some strides as well. So, yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah. We should make mention, too, of District 3 6A. There's a very key game down at the Field of Dreams on Friday night. Centennial, 6-0, as we discussed, playing Las Cruces, which is coming off that loss to Hobbs last week. Cruces, we were just talking about it before we started taping today. This is one of those teams we cannot figure out. They're very mercurial. They're up, they're down, they're all over the map. Hard to pick a team like this because you don't know which version of them will show up.
That's exactly the opposite of what Centennial's been. They've been extremely steady. They play well. They don't seem to make a lot of mistakes. And, you kind of get the feeling that if Las Cruces puts their best game together, they could win that game, but they could also get blown out.
Right, and this is, Centennial coming off a key win over Carlsbad, a game in which they trailed 14-0 right out of the gate, came back and won it rather handily. So Centennial can really put its stamp on first place in this district with a win. Cruces has always been the team in that district, at least over the last 5 or 6 years. So this is a very key game in that district as we think about potential teams that might make the top 4 in the playoffs. Not a whole lot else going on in the metro area. Hope Christian is 6-0, coming off a big road win at Los Alamos. They play New Mexico Military on Saturday night. Nimi, I believe, is 5-1. But Nimi has beaten primarily a lot of Class 2A schools. I think Hope Christian probably wins without too much trouble. One of the key games on Friday is Taos and Grants, which are the last 2 undefeated teams in Class 4A, and that's a district opener. That's the same district that St. Pius and Bernalillo is in this year. It's interesting. Taos is ranked number 1 in 4A, and they're 5-0. Grants is 5-0, but they're ranked number 10.
Yeah, hard to figure that. I guess it's a matter of scheduling, but Taos has just got so much speed on that team that it's kind of amazing. I have to feel like they've got to be the favorite.
Yeah, and Taos will be down here in Albuquerque on October 20th, I believe, to play St. Pius in a noon game at Milne, which is a game I think, and I've said all along, probably will end up deciding first and second place in that district. So we got a lot of interesting games to talk about going forward now. The last 5 weeks of the regular season, district play underway now for all of the metro districts except the Valencia Valley, Los Lunas, Belen district. That'll still be a couple of weeks off, but the football is going to start to get really interesting and meaningful now. So I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Ken and I will see you next week. Have a good weekend.